muffins, we're going to need 2 very ripe bananas, 3/4 of a cup of butter, 3 eggs, a cup of walnuts, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and a teaspoon of salt, which I have all in here, and 2 cups of flour. We're going to start by mashing our bananas. Like I said, the riper the banana, the better your banana bread will come out. Just lightly mash them like that. Once that's done, move over here, and we're going to take our dry ingredients and mix them up. We're going to take our flour, we're going to take our sugar, our baking soda, our baking powder, and our salt, and add that to our flour. We want to mix these up well. We're going to blend the rest of our wet ingredients separately, and because you don't want to overwork a muffin batter, you really just want to mix it until the ingredients are mixed without really beating it. It's not a cake though. It's not something you want to whip up or overwork. So we're just going to mix up our dry ingredients really well to make sure that the baking powder and the baking soda and all that and the salt are all dispersed evenly. And then we're going to set that aside. We're going to take our bananas. We're going to add our butter to that. I'm going to mix that up. I'm going to whip it up and cream it together. We're going to take our eggs, beat them up really quickly. Just give them a quick whisk. Make sure they're all beaten. And add them to our banana mixture. And I mix that up. Almost like scrambling eggs. At this point, we also want to add our walnuts before it becomes too difficult after we've added our dry ingredients to stir. So we're going to add our walnuts now. These are really, really easy to make. They're a wonderful taste treat. They're great for breakfast. They're great for a quick snack. Muffins are always nice. And we're now going to take our dry ingredients. They're really easy to make too. There's nothing simpler than a muffin. I'm going to take our dry ingredients and slowly add them and fold them into our wet ingredients. Like I said, you don't want to overwork a muffin. The less it's worked, the fluffier and lighter your muffin will come out. So you just want to fold those in gently. The crumb topping is a really nice addition, I think, to this muffin. You could always skip the crumb topping. You could just make them as they are without a topping. I like adding the topping. It sets it apart a little bit from your ordinary muffin. So you fold that in really well. And you just keep folding. Your dry ingredients will start to absorb the moisture from the wet ingredients. This recipe makes a really nice, moist, fluffy, light muffin. They're very easy to make. I can't stress that enough. Because that's it. We're done now. That's what you want to do. You don't want to, like I said, overwork it. You just want to make sure those are thoroughly incorporated. It helps to make sure that your butter is softened to room temperature before you do this. I don't know if I said that earlier. That's what I've done. And this is it. They're mixed. I don't know if you can see that there. They're mixed. The ingredients are all incorporated well. And we're ready to fill our muffin tins. I have 2 muffin tins here. I'm just going to use a spoon. You can use an ice cream scooper if you like. I'm just going to use a spoon and spoon that right in there. You don't want to fill them all the way to the top, especially since we're going to be adding the crumb topping. Just drop a spoonful of your batter in there. This gives you a fair amount of muffins too. Depending on the size of your muffin tin, it should give you anywhere from 1 dozen to 2 dozen. I'm not using a huge muffin tin here. I'm using a mid-size one. It's not a tiny one either, but it's not a huge one. We're going to let these sit while we make our crumb topping. To make our crumb topping, we're going to need about 2 tablespoons of very, very finely chopped walnuts. I'm very, very finely crushed. A half a teaspoon of salt and a tablespoon of ground cinnamon. So I have that all mixed up in here. I'm going to add that to my bowl. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of very soft butter, softened to room temperature, soft as you can get it without actually melting it. 4 tablespoons of flour. You don't have to be exact in your measurements. Always go by it. And 4 tablespoons of sugar. Once that's done, take your fork and just blend the ingredients together. Oops, lost a little bit of my flour there. It's going to supplement it. And you don't really want to mix them into you just want to get them to a coarse mix there. That cinnamon adds a nice touch. Complements the banana nut muffin very well without actually adding the cinnamon into the batter and overdoing it. So this is it. Once it's coarsely mixed, take your hands and just bring it together like that. It'll start to feel a little sticky, that's fine. But you do want to get that all mixed thoroughly. And as you can see, it's even starting to change color. This makes really, really nice topping. Once you have it to the point where it, like I said, holds together, break it up. It's a nice crumb without it being too fine. I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to sprinkle it on our muffins. I have my oven preheating to 350. Once I have these topped, I'm going to pop them in there. They take about 20 minutes to bake. Your kitchen's going to smell fantastic. And like I said, these are very easy to make. As you saw, you just mix those few simple ingredients. Because the batter doesn't need to be overworked, it makes for a very simple. And like I said, this crumb topping really, really makes for a fantastic muffin. You can pat down on it. These will puff up as they cook. So pat down on it so they look like that. Fill our second tray. Like I said, this right now we have a dozen going in now. I'm going to get about 18 out of this size muffin tin. Like I said, depending on the size of your muffin tins, you should get anywhere from 1 dozen to 2 dozen. It helps if you avoid getting the crumb topping on the tin. Adding the walnuts to this crumb topping is a really nice finish too. Like I said, it makes for a great crumb topping. Okay. Pat down on them as well. I'm going to pop these in the oven, bake for about 20 minutes, check on them at the 10-15 minute mark, see how they're doing, and you're going to have a great muffin. This is the last of our muffins going in. Like I said, I got 18. Press down on your crumb mixture and pop in the oven. Our first batch is ready. They're out of the oven. We got a really nice rise out of those. You get a very nice, I don't know if you can see it from here, I'm going to transfer these two, but you get a really nice puff. You don't get a flat muffin. Our muffins are ready. They're out of the oven. They look fantastic. They have a beautiful color. I don't know if you can see that. They have a wonderful color. That crumb topping really is fantastic. The recipe itself is fantastic. As I said, if you mix the ingredients in the sequence I told you, you'll get a nice, fluffy, very moist, fantastic muffin. You get a closer look here. You'll get a raised top. You get a nice raised top, no flat muffin. Really, really a fantastic muffin. Let your ingredients do the flavoring. You don't have to add vanilla. You can if you want to. Obviously, you can also skip the walnuts. But this recipe, as is, makes a fantastic muffin. You can incorporate the ingredients in the sequence I told you, and all your muffins guarantee to get a raised top and a wonderful, light, fluffy, moist muffin, no matter what. Whether you're making blueberry muffins, banana nut muffins, if you incorporate them, mix them up that way, you'll get a really wonderful muffin. I mean, look at that top. I really enjoy them. They're a nice treat. I hope you try them. I hope you enjoy them. Until next time.